Singing out of time and it makes me money. Oh. Hello everybody, welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football. I hope we're all doing very well. This is a double header tonight on this channel. It's Leicester versus Manchester City watch along, and then we've got Arsenal against Liverpool for you as well. So I hope everybody's doing well. The Premier League is back, and we're back with a double header. So looking forward to it. I hope you're all doing very well. Lots of things to talk about in the wider world of football as well. Dortmund losing again. What does that mean in relation to well, you know, we might have some Barcelona fans here from Stoke. You know, they might be thinking about that loss as well. So we were talking about Dortmund and their top four hopes of Champions League football. Champions League week ahead as well. We're talking about that. Transfers a little bit as well. The top four race with Chelsea losing. Lots and lots of things. But we've got Leicester against Manchester United. Not Manchester United. Leicester against Man City. I'll give you the team news very quickly. Schmeichel in goal, Fofana, Evans and Amate, Albrighton and Castagne, and Didi, Tillemans and Perez with Iheanacho and Vardy up front. I think it's a very similar team to the team that beat Manchester United in the FA Cup, actually. James Maddison is fit, but he's back on the bench. Ricardo Pereira is back fit, but he is on the bench as well. They've also got that Thomas lad I quite like, who's on the bench for them as well. I think he's a good player. But City, little bit maybe with an eye on Wednesday night's game. I mean, maybe. Ederson in goal, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Mendy, Rodri, Fernandinho, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Jesus and Aguero. I say that because if you look at their bench, John Stones would probably normally start. Gundogan would normally start. I would say Sterling would normally start. Cancelo would normally start, and maybe Foden. But yeah, again, you know what? You've got to understand the dominance of City here to realise that that's not their first team, because people will go, "What are you talking about? What's this guy on about? What's he on about? Right? What's he on about? They've got Rodri and Fernandinho. They've got Mahrez, De Bruyne, Jesus and Aguero, and he's talking about that's not their strongest team." Well, look at their bench: Foden, Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, Sterling. You know, I would argue they're first teamers. But either way, it just shows you their bench is better than everybody else's first team. So the strength in depth that Man City have got is just ridiculous, isn't it? But I still expect them to get a result tonight against Leicester. I mean, look, it's an interesting game. I think this is going to be an interesting game, and I think Liverpool-Arsenal is going to be very interesting because it's not about the title. Manchester City are going to win the title. I think tonight, as a United fan, I'm probably wanting a draw in two games. I'd never want Man City to win, so a draw would be nice. But I don't think a Leicester win actually helps us because we can't catch City in the league anyway. So City will win the league. So City losing isn't really essential for United fans. Leicester are battling us for top four at the moment. So Leicester dropping points would be good. So I'd like a draw. And similarly with Arsenal and Liverpool, there is a slim chance that Liverpool can get back into the race for like second or third or maybe even fourth. So I don't want them to do that. So we've still got Liverpool to play as well, United. So Arsenal getting something out of Liverpool would be preferable. I'd quite like to see two draws tonight. I don't know about you. Out of topic, sorry Mark, but can you say restore the Snyder version to support DC? Says FX Pedro. I thought the Snyder version had already come out. I don't know anything about Marvel, but there you go. Yeah, please do subscribe, says Ehab, one of our moderators. We're on the road to 350,000. Want to try and hit that before the end of the season. Come on City as a Liverpool fan, says Talal. Yeah, well, I think there's probably a lot of people that will want City to win because everyone knows City are going to win the league. So they probably wouldn't mind City winning, not because they like City, but just because, you know, Leicester are a team that West Ham can catch, that Chelsea can catch, that Spurs can catch, that Liverpool think they can catch. So I'd say most people would be rather happy if Leicester drop points today. Mark, PSG are losing 1-0 to Lille, and you can quickly look at the league table. I know you can care less about French league, but please, says Yaz Assad. I don't rate French football. And I would always assume that PSG would win that with their youth team. So I don't know what's going wrong with PSG in the French league because I never checked the French league, but I can have a look for you in a minute. Is it okay if I watch your watch along and watch the match at the same time, says Lorna? You can do what you want to do, Lorna. Whatever makes you happy. It can't be that bad. Arsenal are going to get top four, says Shakumba, who's obviously playing FIFA. And I want City to win from a Liverpool fan, says Josh Newcomb. Yeah, because Liverpool want to get top 4. It's Poch. Since he went there, they are second, says Soapy, FIFA 20. And, well, Pochettino won't last long at PSG. They won't. That's the point of a watch-along, says Sheev. City, yeah. And City will win the Champions League, says Charlie Clark. Well, look, we're back now, aren't we? We're back from international football. And my trepidation... Oh, Anthony Taylor. I mean, I'm sorry. He's probably a really good laugh. But as a referee, you know... One of my best mates, he's one of my best mates, but he's awful at his job. I'm sorry, he is. Works in banking. He's absolutely useless, and I tell him that. So it's nothing personal against Anthony Taylor. He's probably a really nice guy, but he's a useless referee. He irritates the crap out of me. He's terrible. But no, look, we're back now. We're back, and I think Man City can win the quadruple. I mean, who's going to stop Man City? I was hoping that Chelsea could stop him in the FA Cup, but look, Chelsea have shown today how vulnerable they can be. They're going to win the Premier League. The Carabao Cup doesn't really matter because you can still win the treble. And in the Champions League, I mean, are PSG actually that good? I don't know. There will be Grand Theft Auto tonight. Yes, Ehab. I've dropped the link in the video description for Twitch. If you want to give me a follow, you'll get a notification at about 11 o'clock tonight where I'll be playing a couple of hours of Grand Theft Auto as well. So it's a busy evening tonight. Got this game, then we've got Liverpool against Arsenal, and then if you want to watch me playing a bit of Grand Theft Auto, I'll be doing that about 11 o'clock as well. What's for dinner, Mark? I've had my dinner mash. I had coleslaw and beans and chips and chicken, and it was very nice, but I'll have to have a snack between these two games. My prediction for this game, PTG Gaming, I'm going to actually say 1-1. I mean, Man City don't normally blast teams, do they? They're normally very, tight at the back, get a couple of goals, but I actually think this might be a draw. Hope you're well, buddy. Prem is back, thankfully. Draw suits us in both games, says Muzzy Lions. Perfect films for After the Ball, 1991, The Commitments, and Terminator 2. I love what Muzzy does. He watches two films every weekend from different years. I think it's a great idea, and well done for doing it. So, yeah, well done, pal. The players are about ready. About 3 minutes off from kickoff here. Let me just get the timer up and running as well. But I've never watched The Commitments. I have seen Terminator 2, 1991. 1991. How time flies. It really does. Yeah, we will be talking about Dortmund in a minute. I think it's really interesting, that situation there. Just putting a tweet out. Yes, I'm going to go 1-1. 1-1. Bellingham won't be leaving Dortmund this summer. No chance. That's not going to happen. We won't see that happen. Bundesliga. The table. Bayern Munich are top with 61. Leipzig are second with 57. Wolfsburg are third with 54. And Eintracht Frankfurt are fourth with 50. But Dortmund are fifth with 43. There's a 7-point gap between Eintracht Frankfurt and Dortmund. And there are still there's only 7 games to go. If I got that right, yeah, there's only 7 games to go. And Dortmund are 7 points behind Eintracht Frankfurt. And they've still got to play Wolfsburg, Leipzig. I mean, it's interesting. That is quite interesting. Frankfurt's fixtures, I'm just having a look. Frankfurt have got Freiburg, Schalke, Mönchengladbach, Leverkusen, Mainz. I mean, I'll tell you what, it could be quite interesting. That could be quite interesting how that might pan out. Right, let me get this timer started here. We're about to kick off. Get your score predictions in the live comments. Players take the knee, which means they're just about to kick off. I've played here. I've played here in very similar circumstances to this, i.e. there wasn't anybody. In fact, there was more people in the ground when I played here than there is here. There was about 300 in the ground when I played. Thanks for the contribution, George Sinclair. I'm just going to put the timer on the screen. There we go. 4-1 to City, says Frankie. The timer's just gone on. You've got to wait a little bit. 2-1 Leicester, says Advath. 3-6, says Jack. Don't think that's going to happen, Jack. Hey, Mark, what's your favourite Oasis song? Changes every day, a bit like my favourite takeaway, to be honest, Dutch. But selected songs, Slide Away, Listen Up, Rocking Chair, Master Plan. I changed quite a lot with that, though. I liked Supersonic last night. I was listening to that. Hi, Mark. Hope you're having a good weekend. If one of Grealish or Sancho had to miss out on the Euros, which would you pick to miss out? I think it would be an absolute travesty if one of them missed out, Travis. But I would probably take Grealish over Sancho, to be honest, because I think Grealish is a must. I think he's got to go. He got to go, man. He's got to go. You know, he's got to go. He got to go. Thoughts on Chelsea's performance? I was very surprised. Even though they spent most of the game down to 10 men, I was quite surprised. Leicester here with Ndidi. Nice little play. What's the situation with... I forgot I was going to say that. I'll remember in a minute. Aguero playing for Leicester is quite rare. What's the situation with Harvey Barnes? Is he out for the season? He won't be going to the Euros anyway, so I'm not asking from that point of view. But reports claim talks between Man United and Mino have broken down for possible transfer of Erling Haaland, says Fayaz. Well, we never even had the chat. So he's back this month, says Honey Hicks. Thank you very much. Who has also got the Leicester badge, so that's good. 8 weeks injury, says Oristy. Back in May, says Harry Rushmore. Thank you very much. I am doing Liverpool versus Arsenal watch along yet. Straight after this one. Well, won't be straight after this one, but more or less. I'll have a 15-minute break, and then we'll go live again. So lots to get involved in. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner today. You're very welcome. Remember, that's football. Everybody's welcome on here. Do 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 do. Janet says, are you going to show the game? No, Janet. I mean, that's a really old scory thing. That's a real old story to say that. So, chance for Leicester to put a free kick into the box here, early doors. Old Brighton. In it comes. Easy header away. People talking about this French league thing. I will come back to that. We're currently on 347,500. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. We might get to 348 tonight, which gets us very close to the 350, which we're trying to hit before the end of the season. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. We are Man City at Leicester here. We're 5 minutes in. A steady start by both sides. I'd like to see a draw. My prediction is 1-1. And tonight we've got Arsenal-Liverpool, which I think is going to be really interesting. Liverpool can't afford to draw. They've got to keep winning. I don't think... Look, never write Liverpool off in the Champions League. Champions League obviously back this week as well. Oh, it's a goal! It's a goal! Well, it might be offside. Or is it? Fernandinho, Schmeichel's going mad. He's going absolutely mad. It shouldn't go in from this distance. Fernandinho hits it from miles out into the bottom corner. and there's some sort of complaint about somebody being in an offside position, and the flag has gone up. It's offside. Hey, Alvin Blocks. You'd wonder why Schmeichel got beat from so far out. It's a 40-yard hit from Fernandinho, but he must be unsighted. The cross comes in, it's headed away, and Aguero is right in front of Schmeichel. That's the problem. So the shot comes in from Fernandinho, and Aguero just jumps, but it's never going to be a given. It's offside. It's offside, says Rowan, and it quite rightly is. Fernandinho, good shot low. The interesting thing is, would Schmeichel have saved it anyway? I don't think he would have saved that. I think it's the Leicester defender moving their foot out the way. I don't think Schmeichel would have saved that anyway, but it definitely is offside. Aguero's in his line of sight. And could have been 1-0 there, but it was offside. And Adil's very, very happy. Offside, so it's still 0-0. Yeah, it's one of those where it just, where like the ball goes into the box, it rolls out the box, and he's about 10 metres out from the edge of the box, and he just blasts it low into the bottom corner. But Aguero's just in front of the keeper, and he jumps. But I don't think he would have saved it anyway. There will be some Grand Theft Auto tonight, Nico. Yep. What a strike it was, though, says Connor Head. Yep, he got a good connection on it, nice and low. Who do you think Aguero will go to if he stays in England, says Ian? I don't think he will. I think he'll go Spain. But look, it's interesting. The Champions League is back this week, isn't it? And Man City have obviously got an eye on that. I think Pep Guardiola has made no secret of the fact that that's the tournament they want to win. Here's De Bruyne. And Man City just starting to get control of this game a little bit now. But yeah, what we were talking about, Liverpool and Arsenal tonight. Liverpool, they can get top four, but they're going to have to motor. They're going to have to win nearly every game of their last, 9 games. And tonight against Arsenal, they can't afford a draw. So it's going to be a game where Liverpool are going to go for it, and Arsenal, in their progression, need to show that they're not just going to roll over, regardless of what Arsenal's season's going to be. So it is interesting. I mean, look, do I think Liverpool are going to get top four? I think they're going to have to really motor. I think the odds are probably against it. Do I think they'll win the Champions League? I think the odds are against it, but you never, ever count Liverpool out of a Champions League, because they've won Champions Leagues when, they weren't anywhere near favourites, 2005 example. So, look, Liverpool could win the Champions League. I think they'll beat Madrid on Tuesday night. We'll be doing watch-alongs for all those games, by the way. Tuesday night, it's Liverpool and Madrid and Dortmund and City. And then Wednesday night, it's PSG, Bayern and Chelsea Porto. So we'll be doing watch-alongs for both of those on this channel. Exciting to have the European Champions League back, and obviously Premier League football back as well. Wall-to-wall football now till the end of May, and then straight into the Euros. So lots to get your teeth into. I haven't watched the Space Jam trailer, Fayaz. Didn't even know it was out. Selena's new here. Matthew first said that should not have been disallowed. He's in an offside position in the line of the sight. He's interfering with play, so it should have been offside. You're not just offside if somebody passes the ball to you in an offside position. You're also offside if you're active. And active means, are you interfering with play? Well, Mahrez has gone down injured here against his former club. Remember Mahrez at Leicester? Premier League title winner. FaZe loves chicken. Do you only do Premier League watch-alongs, says Football Fan? Champions League as well. I'll draw the line at Europa League. Yeah, I agree with Sean Murphy. Man City's bench is absolutely insane. Most of those players would slot right into any team. They would. And I think that this is what I said to you after the West Ham game. What I'm about to say now will upset Man City fans, but being as there's not many of them, I'll say it anyway. You look at that Man City team: Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Mendy. Very good back five. Midfield: Rodri, Fernandinho. Very good midfield. Mahrez, De Bruyne, Jesus, Aguero. Very, very good attack. But then you look at their bench: Stones, Aki, Sterling, Gundogan. Silva, Bernardo, Torres, Cancelo, Carson, Foden. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, the quality that Manchester City have got. Now, you look at Liverpool's bench tonight and you'll go, bloody hell, how could they compete in a season like this? Man City have benefited massively this season because of how they've built their club. We spent time in the autumn going, this is going to be the best Premier League season ever. And some people did see it, to be fair. I didn't even think about it. And I don't know why, because it was very obvious. This was never going to be the best season ever. This was never going to be the season where everybody can beat anybody. This was always going to be the season that Man City ran away with it. Because when you've got a bench and squad like that, in a season that's condensed and you've got to play 3 games a week, it's logical that the team that's going to run away with the league is the team that's got the best squad. And Man City's squad's elite compared to everybody else's. So it's not a surprise that City have won it, is it, really? Ben Godwin says, you're obsessed with City, I swear. It's amazing how obsessed I am. I can't believe how obsessed I am with City. Sat talking about City whilst watching Man City. I'm obsessed. What am I doing talking about City? I'm so obsessed. Ben, you're right. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well. City lose here. We win tomorrow. That's 11 points. Win our game in hand. That's 8 points with 7 games to go. Could get interesting. No. We're Manchester United. We can lose games to Sheffield United. We're not in this at all, are we? I did say Liverpool would win the league, Fraser. I did. I just said that. I didn't see this coming, even though it was logical. Anybody who predicted City were going to win the league this year, fair play. You actually thought it through. Because realistically, the team that you picked to win this title... But you know what? I've never experienced a season like this before, and most people haven't. I've never experienced teams have to play 3 games a week for 8 months. And international breaks where they're playing 3 games on an international break instead of 2. It's been relentless. And really, you don't want to be boring, but what I should have said at the start of the season was Man City will win this league because they've got the best squad and teams are going to get knackered and injured. So Man City will win the league. But, I'd not experienced it before. So, But fair play to City. They've built that squad and they've kept it happy and it's worked for them. They also got that couple of weeks in January, didn't they, where they had the COVID scare, which, they didn't play a game for a week or so, did they? Which gave them a little bit of a break. Was that a bit of an advantage as well? But they are the best team in the league and they deserve to win it, whatever the circumstances. You can't deny that. Can you admit that Messi is the GOAT? His statistics in 2021 are absolutely insane. He's a goal scorer, playmaker, all in one, says Ethan Cleverly. Where is he still in the Champions League? Just asking for a friend. And no, but the thing is, I still think Messi and Ronaldo are the 2 best players in the world. I think you sleep on those 2, you're a fool. You'll be proven wrong. Mark says, I've just seen the City starting team and thought it was strong, but then here's the difference between them and us. They have Gundy and Sterling, Foden, Bernardo Silva, amongst others. Their bench is amazing, Mark M. It absolutely is. I think Messi and Ronaldo are both struggling because they're playing in teams that aren't very good. So, yeah. City or Dortmund? Dortmund are 5th in the Bundesliga. I'm telling you now, I said it as soon as the draw came in. It's an easy draw for City. All right, it's not Porto. The next best team after Porto is Dortmund. Don't tell me Dortmund are better than Madrid or Chelsea or Liverpool or PSG or Bayern or Man City. And that's it, isn't it? That's the team. So Dortmund was the second best team to pull out the draw. And Man City will... That'd be a major shock. A major shock. Jason says Messi isn't struggling. Did you not watch the Champions League, mate? He's not in it anymore. I don't watch the Liga, it's shit. So don't tell me what he's doing in La Liga. I'm telling you, he's struggling in a team that's not good. That's why they've been shit in the Champions League for the last few years. That's where I judge Barcelona. That's where proper Barcelona fans judge them as well. Messi is struggling in a Barcelona side that can't give him the trophies that he's normally used to winning. I didn't say he's not. You're contradicting yourselves, because what I said is, I don't think Messi and Ronaldo are done. I think they are still the two best players in the world. I just think they're both playing in teams that are not as strong as the teams that they've been used to playing in, and therefore they're having to carry those teams on their own. So you can't do that. And I'd agree with Ross. He says he's excelling in a team that's not good, if anything. Yeah, which is why he's not in the Champions League anymore, because the team that's around him is struggling, and he's struggling because of that. Professionally, he is struggling. He might be scoring a lot of goals, but Messi should be winning the Champions League. He should be winning La Liga. So he's professionally struggling because that team around him isn't good enough, which is why he's been considering leaving. Kian says Messi's not struggling at all with 3 smiley faces. Can somebody explain to Kian why he's an idiot? I can only waste so long on it on a Leicester versus Man City game. Do you think Aubameyang will leave Arsenal? No, not after he signed that new contract. He's on ridiculous money. Is he on? How much is he on? Hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. No one's going to pay him that. Ollie Spencer is even done a super chat. I don't know where we're wandering into, Ollie. I don't know what we're wandering into. Can the moderators just start removing these people, because we're doing a Leicester versus Man City watch along, and people are just not listening. Like what I was asked a question about Messi, and I said he's still the best player in the world for me with Ronaldo. So why are we wandering into him struggling or not? You're being really thick. He's struggling because he's not getting anywhere near winning the Champions League. Professionally, Messi is struggling because he's in a team that isn't good enough. You put Messi in the Man City side, he'd still be the best player in the world, and he'd probably win the Champions League. I haven't said Messi's finished. I did a video about Messi and Ronaldo 2 weeks ago saying they're not finished. I said it 5 minutes ago, he's still the best player in the world, but some of you don't seem to be able to compute that he's playing in a Barcelona side that is making him struggle professionally because he's not winning the Champions League. It's as simple as that. I've never said that Messi's not the best player in the world. So, I don't know, you're getting your knickers in a twist about God knows what. Oh, Gary, I'm sorry, you're going to be the first one gone. Mark, but Messi's still very good. I've never said he isn't. I've literally never said he isn't. I'm not talking about Messi anymore because people are being thick. 0-0 in this game anyway. 20 minutes gone. Leicester having to do a lot of defending. There has been a shot on the target, random, Gray. It came from Fernandinho, and it was offside. It was a good. I don't personally think Schmeichel would have saved it, but Aguero was in the line of fire, so it has to be that. Crap is coming. Leicester to win. I don't know. I mean, I suppose Leicester are going to be set up on the counter-attack, aren't they? That's what they're going to try and do. It's a weird one for me because I actually don't want Leicester to win, really. Although I probably do because I don't like Man City for obvious reasons. But in the context of the league, it's better for us if Leicester don't win. And it's better for Liverpool, and it's better for Chelsea, and it's better for West Ham, and it's better for Spurs. But City have looked good so far. Would Foden do good at Arsenal? Team affects a lot. Society. I think Foden's a very, very good player. Mark, Chelsea fan here. Honestly, love your channels. Especially love when you sit down Darren from Swindon who supports the Liga. Was only one La Liga. Let's go back to the Champions League. Sorry, Barcelona fans, you're not in it. Neither are United. Yeah, but that's football. It's not United stand. Let's talk about the Champions League for a minute. Only one La Liga team left in it, Real Madrid. I'm very confident that Liverpool will beat them. Very, very confident. I want Real Madrid to win that because there is absolutely no way I want Liverpool to win that because Liverpool are our biggest rivals. But I think Liverpool will win that. I think there'll be... I think it's going to be a really good test. I mean, I knew Chelsea would beat Atletico Madrid, and I know the Premier League is better than La Liga, but Real Madrid against Liverpool, is that really Premier League against La Liga? I mean, Liverpool in that game will probably be about 7th. So De Bruyne shoots over the bar, but I think Liverpool will beat them quite comfortably, to be honest. I'd be very surprised if Real Madrid give them a game, but you never know. You never know. I think Man City, well, let's go through it. Man City, Dortmund, give us your thoughts on that. I think Man City will beat Dortmund comfortably because I think Man City are one of the best teams in the world at the moment and Dortmund aren't even one of the best teams in Germany. I think Real Madrid, Liverpool will be closer, but I think Liverpool will win. Chelsea will beat Porto. I mean, there is a chance that Chelsea could get done. I mean, look, Porto are a better team than West Brom, so let's not pretend that Chelsea will definitely win. They could not win. And then PSG Bayern, I actually hope Bayern win because if that's a close game, I think Man City have won the title because I don't think PSG are that good. United played PSG with Neymar and Mbappe and they beat them. PSG beat Barcelona without Neymar. I don't think PSG are that good. So if they push Bayern Munich, that means Bayern Munich aren't that good. And I think City will win it. La Liga teams have been dominant in Europe the last 15 years. Why do you think the quality has declined, says Ethan cleverly? Poor signings at Barcelona. You know, on a serious note, poor signings at Barcelona. They've spent ridiculous amounts of money on people. There's a free kick on the edge of the box here for De Bruyne, in fact. We'll come back to that. Why? It's a good point. Why do you think the La Liga has declined? We'll come back to that in a minute. But free kick on the edge of the box for De Bruyne. See what happens here. You'd fancy him from here. I'm not answering your question, Dave, about Ronaldo versus Messi. He's hit the bar! He's hit the bar! And it's headed away. Schmeichel was in the goal, not the ball. Kasper Schmeichel was in the goal, diving for it, but De Bruyne's shot hits the bar. Cross coming in here. No, they've not whipped it back in. They've gone back to the halfway line there, Man City. Oh, the cameraman will hate this. He wants to show the replay. But the ball's still active. I just want to see this replay and then I'll talk to you about that. Neymar's just been sent off for PSG. What for? Petulance. They haven't evolved and kept with ageing players, says Dane Grayson. Oh, God. This is it. Getting a replay of a City chance is really difficult if the ball stays on the pitch because they'll just ticky-taka for 20 minutes and we won't be able to see the bloody replay. Kyle Walker puts the cross in. That's a goal kick. Right, show us the free kick. Here it is. Edge of the box free kick for De Bruyne. It's a good free kick. And it's smack on the bar. Again, I don't know whether... It's relatively close to Schmeichel. I think it just doesn't see it till it's too late. I think he would have saved it. I don't even think it was a free kick. Hey Mark, just sent you a DM on Instagram. Please check it out. Would really appreciate it. This is Robble. Mate, you've made a massive mistake there sending me a DM on Instagram. I mean, I'll never find it. I'll never find it. One, I'm crap on Instagram. And two, there's so many in there. I'll never find it. I'll have a look, but I'll never find it. Yeah, so the reason I think that Barcelona have... why is La Liga declined, having dominated football for so long? Well, when you say La Liga, you're talking about Real Madrid and Barcelona. In relation to Barcelona, I don't think they replaced Neymar. They haven't replaced Suarez, and that's not just this year. You know, Suarez was on the decline for a couple of years in relation to what he was like when he first went there. They didn't replace Neymar. They haven't replaced Suarez, and there's a lot of pressure on Messi, who is still the best player in the world, but the squad around him has fallen apart. You can't win a Champions League at the moment with a one-man team. You've got to have a very good team. Look at the bench that Man City have got. Look at the bench that Bayern Munich have got. Look at the squad that PSG have got. You've got to have a really good squad. And also, Barcelona have spent a lot of money on flops. I don't think Longley's that good. Griezmann's been a major flop. Ousmane Dembele's been a major flop. Coutinho was a major flop. They've spent 350 million on Griezmann, Dembele and Coutinho, and they all flopped. You know, that you talk about Man United wasting money. That is a ridiculous amount of money. 350 million. And that is why Barcelona have struggled, because they've not allowed themselves to decline. They've just, their signings have been bad. As for Real Madrid, again, bit similar. Ronaldo's left. Obviously, Barcelona haven't lost Messi. The team around Messi has disintegrated. At Real Madrid, they lost their Messi. They lost Ronaldo, which was a massive, massive thing. And then, you know, they've never filled that void. And then some of the players they bought, like Hazard, just haven't worked out. Some other players they bought just haven't worked out. So they're both very similar. They'll definitely both be back, though. Real Madrid and Barcelona. I mean, they're talking to bloody Haaland. They'll definitely be back. Hi, Mark. What's your go-to drink? Bet you're a Foster's or Carling man, says Eden Burke. No, nothing today. I had too much last night. Don't want to talk about alcohol. How close do you think Everton will come to finishing in the Champions League, says Chronic. And if Brendan Rodgers wins today, bin Ollie and get him in, says Tito. What do you think will happen to Chelsea? Will everything go downhill or will they bounce back, says Ben Marshall. I think they'll bounce back. I mean, they're in a precarious position. I mean, let's just talk about the top four at the moment, because Leicester are playing here. Obviously, Chelsea lost, and there was the question there about Everton. I mean, as things stand at the moment, Man City are 15 points clear at the top, and they will win the league. Lovely ball into Mahrez. That's one. Oh, no. It was Jesus. I thought he was going to cut it back to Aguero, but Schmeichel was quick off his line. So, yeah, Man City are going to win the league. 15 points clear at the top. Man City, it's over. Man United, second place, 57 points. Leicester, third, 57 points. Chelsea, fourth, 51 points. West Ham, fifth, 49 points. Tottenham, sixth, 48 points. If Tottenham win tomorrow against Newcastle, they're on the same points as Chelsea with the same games played. Liverpool tonight, if they win against Arsenal, they would be 2 points off Chelsea with the same amount of games played. So I think that... do I think Everton have got a chance? Everton have got a game in hand, so if they won that game in hand, they can get back into it. But I think realistically, the top four will be Man United, Leicester, and either Chelsea, Liverpool, or Tottenham. West Ham, you know, keep being the underdogs, keep not getting mentioned, but I don't see Everton getting into it. Everton's problem for me is that they need to buy... They need another summer like last summer. They need to bring another Alan, Decore and James Rodriguez. Not those positions, but 3 good players. Keep the players that they've got. Everton need to build a bit of squad depth because they're very inconsistent. They can beat everybody, but they also find these inconsistent problems. How close do you think Everton will come to... Oh, I've done that one. Done that one. I got a question asked about Jesus then, and I thought because it's Easter, I wonder if it's got religious connotations. I had a conversation about Jesus today, not the one who plays for Man City. I was talking to my daughter about it, and she said to me, when Jesus was Jesus rose from the dead, how long did he stay alive for? Because he's not here anymore. And I said, I don't know. And she said, I think he came out, had a chat with a couple of disciples, did a couple of tricks, and then he went to heaven. Oh wait, he's not bloody Harry Potter. He doesn't do tricks. He does miracles. But if anyone knows how long Jesus came back for from the dead, let us know. My daughter thinks a couple of hours. I think he probably came back for a couple of days. I don't know. Grand Theft Auto tonight, yes. Cammy, 11 o'clock. He came back for 40 days, says Kong. And Matty. I'm seeing a lot of 40 days now. Came back for 40 days. What did he do for 40 days before he... and why did... How did he leave? What did he do? He said, I've had enough of this. United aren't going to win the league. I'm wasting my time. Do you watch Spurs games, says Ben? If it's a good one, obviously I'll watch them play against United. I don't watch them in Europe anymore. But I am the resurrection and I am the light. What a song. Easter. Stone Roses. Yeah, I'll be doing a bit of Grand Theft Auto later. Driving. I'll be like one of those gangster kids in their car. You know, the ones that drive like that? You can barely see them over the side mirror. I could never drive like that. It'd do my head in. Love a little stretch, says Daniel. Please subscribe, by the way. Got nearly 9,000 watching, which is fantastic. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're on the road to 350k. PSG are bottlers. They just bottled the title, says Bakif. I'm just going to have a quick look at this because I was asked to look at the French League, which I've probably not looked at the French League in about 12 years. I pay no attention to the French League. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. It's a Farmers League. But they've just lost 1-0, apparently. Is that a result? It is a result. They've lost 1-0 to Lille. Jonathan David with the goal. Neymar was sent off. And they've not bottled the French League. They're 3 points behind Lille, who are now top with 66. But there are still there's still 7 games to go. PSG will probably still win that league, to be fair. Although Lyon would go level with PSG if they win their game in hand as well. So it's not as convincing for PSG as it could be. But I wonder... I don't know what's going on at PSG. I mean, realistically, it's like winning the league, winning the French league for PSG is like winning a horse race with one horse in it. And you're the horse, or you're riding the horse. Dortmund lost again. Yeah, the link for my Twitch channel is in the video description if you want to give me a follow there. We will be live tonight. That's if I'm not exhausted after these 2 games. I mean, the way I'm feeling at the moment, I'll be playing, but I've got 2 watch-alongs to do tonight. We're doing this, and then we're doing Arsenal against Liverpool as well. I'll tell you what really disappoints me. Why did they stop making Mindhunter on Netflix? Has anybody watched Mindhunter on Netflix? It's really good. And it was clearly not meant to finish after 2 seasons. They were really building... That was meant to be... I think Mindhunter was meant to be probably 5 or 6 seasons. And they just bloody stopped doing it. And it's really good. Gets on my tits. Arav says, I'm telling you, we've got to buy Andre Silva. Racehorse Red says Spurs are ahead on goal difference comfortably compared to Chelsea and West Ham. Carabao plus top 4 finish still in sight. Jose still in. Mate, look. If you're a Spurs fan and you like Mourinho, that's up to you. I'm telling you now, he has underachieved this year. Any Spurs fan knows that. All the balls up in the air in the box here. Lovely takedown by Jesus. That should be 1-0. No, good block by Leicester. They get away with it. They've not played well, Leicester. They've been no threat at all. But it remains 0-0. I forgot what I was talking about there. I know I was talking about Mindhunter. Leicester have been very scrappy, says Advath. Oh, you're talking about Spurs. Yeah, I think Spurs have been really underachievers. I mean, I've kept an eye on Spurs because when I thought their summer activity was quite good. I thought Bale was an interesting one. Reguilon was a good signing. I thought the lad they brought in as a striker, that Vinicius player, I thought he would be a good striker even though he's not had many opportunities. Obviously, Højbjerg was a good signing. Doherty gave him more depth. There were so many games this season where Spurs were in winning positions and they ended up drawing. They've dropped some silly points. I mean, they've lost to Liverpool twice, and yet they can still get top 4. I think this is a massive indication. And United fans talk about it. A lot of the Ollie Outers say this, and they are right to a certain extent. If Spurs, United are second because everyone else has been shit. That's basically what Ollie Outers say. But there is some truth in that, because if Spurs get fourth, how bad is this league apart from Man City? Like, Spurs have dropped so many points that they shouldn't have dropped, and yet they could still get fourth. And so yeah, Spurs. I think Spurs have underachieved. Even if they win the Carabao Cup and get fourth place, their fans will say, "No, you're talking absolute nonsense. We haven't underachieved at all." But I think they have. Jonathan David's been doing pretty good for Lille. He's from the same city as my mum. I always root for North Americans, so I think it's pretty cool, says Mike Maxwell. Yeah, big shout out to Lille. They beat PSG 1-0. Old Poch will be in trouble soon. I just love the United fans who are like, "Oh, watch PSG motor now, bro. Now they've got Poch. Could have been at United." Yeah, they're really motoring. Motoring like a dead Fiat Punto. I like Poch, but it's just this madness that people get convinced that a certain manager is going to make United good when they don't think about the fact that our problem is our board as well. Here's a good running from Ndidi. Nicely into Iheanacho against his former club. He bottled it and fouled the centre-back. I think that Bayern will deal with. I've got to be honest. I'm looking forward to doing the watch-alongs for the Champions League games. But what I'm not looking forward to is that I'm going to have to. I really am. I'll tell you what. I'm very, very annoyed about this, because on Tuesday night, Real Madrid and Liverpool and Dortmund and Man City kick off at exactly the same time. And on Wednesday night, PSG and Bayern and Chelsea and Porto kick off at exactly the same time. Which means when I'm doing a watch-along, I'm going to have a TV screen here and a TV screen here and the live comments here. And it's like, it's very difficult to watch two games at the same time. But that's what we're going to have to do. And I just don't know why they couldn't just split them. Like tonight, I get to watch Man City and Leicester and then a little bit of a break and then straight into Arsenal, Liverpool. But watching those, it's annoying because you don't get to appreciate either game because your eyes are going from one to another. Leicester on a rare attack here. I don't think they've had a shot. I can't remember. I don't think they've had a corner. I remember they had a cross into the box in the first few minutes, but City have got it back. Here's De Bruyne. It's a nice ball, but keeper's got it. If City lose, will that open the title race again? No. No, Dean. I mean, Manchester United would need to win every single game. We've got Liverpool, we've got Man City. No, we haven't got Man City. We've got Tottenham. I think the interesting thing is, to anybody who says that if Man City lose this game, and Man United back in a title race, Man City have got 72 points. I think United will do well to get 72 points. So we're not in a title race. Man City aren't going to lose all their games, and I think United will do well to get 72. That's 15 points from their last 9 games. So, yeah. There's no title race. It's Man City's. Thoughts on the Chelsea game? I was quite surprised. Racehorse Red says, I agree that we've underachieved, but with the quality of our back line and squad players, it would be a miracle to finish top 4. Centre-backs are awful. Well, I mean, this is what I talk about, Mourinho. He's played Eric Dyer at centre-back for a lot of this season. I just don't know what he's doing that. How good was Ji-Sung Park? Was he underappreciated, to Samir? I don't think Ji-Sung Park was underappreciated by Man United fans, but he was probably underappreciated in the general sense. Look at the pressing here from Man City. Leicester do clear it though. I tell you what, Ndidi's been very impressive today. Very impressive. I mean, he's a good player, but I've really noticed him today. Someone on Twitter. Neymar is such a stupid idiot. Maddison back on the bench. I don't see Maddison wanting to... I don't see Maddison going to the Euros. No. What, Mark? What's your opinion on Mandy of Man City? Who's Mandy? I don't know. Mendy. Oh yeah, Mendy. I don't rate Mendy. No, I don't. I think he's. I think Mendy is a bit like the. I'm trying to think who Mendy reminds me of. I mean, look, to be honest with you, I think Bertrand is better than him. I think Van Aanholt's better than him. I don't think he's very... I wouldn't put him in the top... I probably wouldn't put Mendy in the top 10 left-backs in the league. So, there you go. There's your answer. Nice little flick off here. Mahrez against his former club. He should have scored, but it's a feet save from Schmeichel. It's a feet save. Woo! Feet save. Heatwave. Looking at the upcoming weeks, I actually fancy Spurs to finish above Chelsea. Good shot from distance there from Dalibor. He says... No, Dalibor didn't take the shot from distance. He's done the super chat. It was De Bruyne with the shot from distance, just wide. Because they're not in Europe and have easier league fixtures. Yeah, well, look. What I would be worried about if I was a Chelsea fan is, can you win the Champions League? You can, but you're an outsider. Is the Champions League potentially going to cause you issues in getting into the top four? Yeah, because you're playing midweek and weekend. If Chelsea don't win the Champions League, you're out. If you don't get top four, you're not in the Champions League next year. So, Mark, pull up the Serie A table. Juve are losing and are fifth. Imagine if Juve end up in the Europa League and Pogba wants to go there, says Yazir said. Look, again, I mean, United haven't kicked a ball, but there's a lot of results going our way. Chelsea losing, Leicester not winning here. Arsenal could get something against Liverpool. Newcastle could get something against Spurs tomorrow. Dortmund looking like they're not going to get top four. Juventus might not get Champions League football as well. It's interesting, isn't it? How things... I mean, would Pogba want to go to Juventus when they're in the Europa League? He came to United. I finished The Crown, yes, KB7. I quite enjoyed it, yeah. Chelsea have got a massive squad, Jeremiah, yeah. I think Chelsea struggled today because of the 10 men, but I would still say that with 10 men, you shouldn't get stuffed by West Brom. I even thought when you went down to 10 men, you'd be fine. Grand Theft Auto's about 11 o'clock tonight, Murphin. On Twitch, links in the video description. And I'm probably going to give some subs today as well. I'll remember to do that. Oh, Tillemans loses the ball. Evans up against Jesus. Oh. Over the bar. Over the bar from the Brazilian Iheanacho. I genuinely don't rate Jesus. I rate Jesus. It's Easter, but I don't rate Jesus. Brazilian Iheanacho, I think he's well overrated. Really do. How was your beers last night, Mark? Says Paul Farmer. Good. Problem last night is that because it's my birthday next week and there's loads of football on, we had the birthday meal last night, and I had a couple of glasses of red with the dinner. Red wine. Red wine. Goes to my head. It really does. But then, after that, I went on a Zoom call with some family and had a few bottles of beer. So I mixed the grape and the grain. And you should not do that. It's like playing Bruno in a midfield three with McFred. It's not... Bruno's fantastic, but the other two just destroy you. So I had a bit of a headache this morning. But on a positive note... My daughter was back playing football this morning, as you might have seen on Instagram, And unfortunately, nobody filmed it. But she scored an app. She's left-footed. I've taught her well. She's left-footed and edge of the box, smacks it, hits the bar just above, the top corner, hits the top of the bar and underneath the bar. When it kills the power, and it hit the top of the bar, bounced down. I thought it was going to bounce back. When it went bounced down, hit behind the line, I thought it was going to bounce out, and there's no VAR. And it didn't. It bounced down over the line and then into the side netting as well. So it was an absolutely cracking goal. Wand of a left foot. I just went, yeah. You can imagine what my celebration was like. Somebody should have filmed that. Get the fuck in. No, I didn't do that. I was like, have it. No, it was only a friendly actually, because it's their first game back after lockdown. But it was a lovely hit. Absolutely fantastic. Leicester, they've got an overlap here. Vardy! It's 1-0. It's 1-0 to Leicester. Or is he offside? He's offside. He knows he's offside. Yeah. The bloody linesman took his time. He looks like Dan from Alan Partridge. Dan! Keep your flag down, Dan! Oh, he's miles off. It's a shame. It's a shame he's off. It's a shame. It's one of those where if he stays onside, he's scored, but he's not. He's offside. It remains 0-0. So one offside goal each, and it's half time as well. Get your either ors in. Either or. Give me two things. I'll tell you what I think. Would you do a championship watch along? No. At least I'm honest. Not going to lie to you. Look into my eyes, can't you see them open wide? Would I lie to you, baby? Would I lie to you? Oh, yeah. No, I wouldn't do a championship watch along. I've got better things to do. It was a lovely goal, absolutely lovely goal from the daughter this morning. But it's nice for everybody who's back playing football. I know that there's a lot of people very happy to be back. And look, hopefully, fingers crossed, that's the end of lockdowns and things like that. 'Cause it's really important for people's mental health and physical state to get out and about and start doing, interactive things such as sports. I don't mean anything else. Mark, watch along with your daughter playing. Yeah, that would be probably contrary to many, many rules in this country to be stood there doing a watch along of my daughter's football team playing football. But Ndidi or Rice, Mark, says I'd be happy with either of them. I just think Rice is available and Ndidi's not available. So Rice is the better option because I think he's available. But we won't get him either. Son or Mane? I like Son. I've always liked Son. Mane's probably the better player, but I just like Son. Ribery versus Robin. Well, they're both retired, aren't they now? Charles and Eddie, says Story. That's who it is. That's who it is, yeah. What are you going to have for tea? Well, I had my dinner at lunchtime, and I've got a quick changeover between this game and the Liverpool versus Arsenal game. So I will probably have something very traditional, which is a hot cross bun. Because I'm not a big fan of Easter, but I am a big fan of hot cross buns. But I don't really know what hot cross buns have got to do with Easter. It's the cross. It's the cross, isn't it? Yeah, that's what it's to do with. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. I'm not really a big fan of Easter. As I said on my Cooking with Goldbridge, Easter is the Brighton of the Premier League. Nothing wrong with it. But if Manchester United are Christmas, because that's my club, then Brighton are Easter. Because I'm not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of Easter. Apart from having 4 days off, which I'm not off, am I? Because I'm doing watch-alongs, so those sort of things don't bother me. Spurs are going to go 4th tomorrow, says Mido. And Man City are battering Leicester and Manchester is blue, says Lucas Howarth. I mean, there is a guy who really is insecure, isn't it? Really is. Henrik Larsson or Zlatan, says United GBG. Zlatan, easy. Morton says FIFA or Grand Theft Auto. Two very different games in very, 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 very different ways. Rashford or Sane? Rashford. Mark, I'm in year 11. Do you think school proms will be allowed? Says Leo Swinton. I don't know. Depends what time of the year. July, probably. Yeah, I think hopefully things might be back by then. Also depends which country. Chances of a 0-0 draw, says the random guy. Well, I did say 1-1. My prediction was 1-1. I don't think Man City... Whilst Man City are a very good side, they're not really the team that goes and batters teams, are they? They tend to be winning games 1 or 2-0. So I think that if it's a draw, it'll probably be 1-1. But I do think... Well, I'd take a draw. But Leicester have done hardly anything in that half, really. I mean, all right, Vardy scores, he's offside, but they've not caused Man City many problems. You feel that Man City at some point will break them down. I think Arsenal-Liverpool's a huge game, I agree. I mean, Arsenal will want to finish as high as they can. If they can get 8th, they'll be very happy. But Liverpool will still know that their best chance of Champions League football is to get into the top 4. Yes, they could win the Champions League, and they're going to obviously try their best to do that and never, ever, ever discount them, as I said in the first half. But they will want to get top 4, and if they're going to get top 4, the interesting thing with Liverpool is that even if Liverpool win all their remaining games, which is 9 games, that's 27 points. That only takes them to 73 points. And that's if they win all their games, which is highly unlikely. So Liverpool don't have many points to play with, considering that Manchester United and Leicester are only 16 points off 73. So Liverpool can't afford not to beat Arsenal. If Arsenal were to lose tonight, look, Arsenal are 4 points off 8th. And Everton have got a game in hand. So I think the best Arsenal can do this season is 8th. But if things went there wrong, they could end up down to 9th or 10th again. Only 1 point separates 11th and Arsenal in 9th. So Arsenal need to get something tonight to not take a step backwards, and Liverpool need to win. So it'll be interesting. Thanks for the super chat, Paul Shannon. Mark, what is a realistic transfer window that would make you happy for United, says Pascal. For example, Koundé or Varane at centre-back, Declan Rice at CDM or someone of that ilk, and probably Jadon Sancho at right wing. I'd be very happy with that and not have a striker. Barcelona or Real Madrid for Haaland? Well, I'm glad somebody said that. I did a video on this channel about Haaland, and I predicted that he would go PSG, Chelsea or Real Madrid. I don't know where Barcelona are going to get the money from, but I would throw Barcelona into the equation now. And I think he will... I think he's going to leave Dortmund. I do think he's going to leave Dortmund. I wonder if Haaland was clever enough, or Raiola was clever enough, to put something in their contract that if Dortmund aren't in the Champions League, he can go. Because I'm just wondering, because Haaland's release clause is 70 million next summer, I'm wondering if he can go for 70 million if you don't get Champions League football. Because if that isn't there, that means Barcelona, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, and whoever else is talking to Mino Raiola about Erling Haaland, that means they're all talking at 150 million. Well, none of them can really afford that. So I'm just wondering if there is something in his contract about if we're not in the Champions League, you get to go. So I don't know. And if there is, there might be something there for Sancho. Pep has come out and said they can't afford him, Rahul, you're right. And Michael Franklin or Trevor, says Abdullah. I like Michael. Dembele back to... Although I'm enjoying... I've only just started using Trevor. And we're talking Grand Theft Auto here. So I'm doing a career mode on Grand Theft Auto. I'll be live tonight at about 11 o'clock on my Twitch channel. So join me for some late night stuff there. I might have a beer, actually. You can give me a follow on Twitch. Links in the video description. PSG could use Mbappe money. Yep. I mean, where do you think? Very interesting. But where do you think where do you think Haaland's going to end up? I think he's going to go to Spain. I think it'll be... I think he'll go Real Madrid. I don't think he'll choose Barcelona over Real Madrid. Mino Raiola has said in the past that he wants to take a player to Real Madrid. And I think that was always assumed to be Pogba, and I think he'd like to take 2 players to Real Madrid. I think he'd love to have Pogba and Haaland playing at the same club. Think about the air miles. He'd save, wouldn't he? So I think Real Madrid. But I'm intrigued as to where Real Madrid and Barcelona are going to get their money from. Definitely. Honest opinions on Romelu Lukaku, says Connor. Penalty box striker, elite. Outside the penalty box, trampoline toes. His build-up play is not good enough. His intelligence around outside the box isn't good enough. But get him in the penalty box. You know, if he went to Chelsea, he'd score 30 goals. So, you know, I do like him, but I was glad that we got rid of him because I found him infuriating to watch at times. But he'll definitely score your goals. I can't deny that. Please subscribe, by the way. We're getting close to 348,000. We're only 300 subscribers away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thank you, everybody. Who would you rather... What? Hi, Mark. Is FIFA on tonight? Says Irish Crawlers now. I don't do FIFA on the weekend. Sheikh says, with many teams getting stronger now and in the future, which you think will happen first? Arsenal finishing in the top 4 and getting relegated? I think that, you know, and this is the place to say it, if I was an Arsenal fan, I would take the positivity about progression to I would take the positivity about progression under Arteta. I genuinely think that there is progression under Arteta. I do. But I also think that they are miles off getting top 4. And I think I've said it for the last 2 years about Arsenal.
It's Rocky's birthday.
Rocky's birthday?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
'Cause
Has he got a birth certificate?
yeah. And Rocky he got a friend.
What's his friend called?
I don't know.
I think it's called Derek.
No.
Alright. I've completely lost my thought now. Yeah, Arsenal. I've said it about Arsenal for the last 2 years. If Arteta had got them 4th 2 years ago, I said build a statue. Emery. And if Arteta had got them top 4 this year, build him a statue. I think 4th place for Arsenal would be a huge achievement. And that's how difficult a job it is for Arsenal now. Because what people obviously do realise is that if Man City and Liverpool and Man United and Chelsea are top 4, that means that Liverpool and Spurs aren't, and Arsenal. It's very difficult to become a top 4 club. And, well, look, if I'm absolutely honest, Arsenal talk about being a top 4 club. You might want to start being a top 7 club before you become a top 4 club. That's what they've got to do. Dybala for Pogba, direct switch, sorts right wing position. No, I would not want Dybala in the Premier League. I wouldn't want him at Man United anyway. No, I don't think he's good enough. He's good. I do like Dybala, but I think he's an inconsistent player for a start, and I don't think the Premier League would definitely suit him. I think at best with Dybala you'd get what James Rodriguez has done. You know, moments of brilliance, but then disappears for a few months. Would you have Malin as striker at United this summer? Says Salah Ahmed. I don't really know what he's like in real life. I know what he's good on FIFA. I know he's been decent for me on FIFA, but not much reporting on the actual game, says Gert. Yeah, it is half time at the moment, and United win the Champions League or England win the World Cup. No, shut up. Get out. Of course it's Man United winning the Champions League. I'm not, you know, I'll watch the Euros and I'll enjoy the Euros and I'll get into the Euros, but to be honest with you, when it's not the World Cup or the Euros, I couldn't give 2 shits about England. And the reason I couldn't give 2 shits about England is because England are boring. They employ boring managers with boring tactics. And I used to love international football when I was growing up, and I've totally and utterly fell out of love with it. And that's the FA's fault, because it's boring. Absolutely boring. It's coming home is better than the Champions League, says Patrick Gouge, and Man United win the Audi Cup or England win the World Cup. That's more of a better one, Samuel. Is Arteta the right man for the Arsenal job, says Jay? I think he is. I just think the job is ridiculously difficult. Mark, have you ever heard of Kuwait? It's like that. That's like asking me if I've ever heard of France. Like, who hasn't heard of Kuwait? Yeah. I mean, maybe you've got to be of a certain age, but Kuwait was massive around the Gulf War. That was your moment. That was your Messi moment. Like, everyone knew who Kuwait were in the early 90s. Everybody knew who Kuwait were. You were Lionel Messi of the early 90s because everyone knew about Kuwait because of the Gulf War. Because that's where we could go and put all our military to get into Iraq, wasn't it, and all that. So big up Kuwait, early 90s, massive. Who's better, Richarlison or Martial? Says Luca. Well, you'd have to say Richarlison this season. Mark, do you watch Line of Duty? I do, Joseph Whelan. I do. Players about to come out. Imagine Man United with Tillemans and Ndidi instead of McFred, Andrew Richardson. You've just imagined a decent side. And what did you have for lunch? I had chips, beans, chicken and coleslaw. It was very, very nice. And Bobby, well, I'm always going to choose my son. And do you think Chelsea will now prioritise centre-backs, says Sharaz? Yeah, I think they'll look at a centre-back, and I think that'll make Man United's job difficult because Chelsea will probably get Varane if we want him, or Koundé if we want him. Rank United CDMs, centre midfielders in 1 to 5, with 1 as the best and 5 as the worst, says Salah Ahmed. In relation to centre midfielders, well, who's the 5? Matic, McTominay, Fred, Pogba, Van der Beek. Okay, I can do that. Let me just start the second half. So, the best is Pogba. I actually believe the second best is Van der Beek. We just haven't seen it. I think the third best is Matic. The third best is Fred. Fourth best McTominay and the fifth best Matic. Because Matic has been a rubbish this year. So that's what I would say. I don't like cricket. Oh no. I love it. Right, let's get this second half started. Go. 0-0 then. I still think Man City are very, very much favourites, but you never know. We've had some weird results today already with that Chelsea West Brom result, and maybe, if Leicester could nick a goal on the break and then keep that clean sheet, they'd win the game, wouldn't they? But yeah, we are doing Liverpool versus Arsenal. That's coming up after this game as a watch along. I will set that up in the second half and give you the link for it. 8 o'clock kickoff tonight. I'm not a big fan of Saturday night football. Don't care how good the game is. I'm not a massive fan of it, really. Never been a fan of 8 o'clock Saturday night football, but it seems to be part of the future, and you've just got to get used to it. I don't think Liverpool versus Arsenal will be boring because Liverpool have got to win it. But Schmeichel there nearly getting closed down. But the press, as you'd expect from a Pep side, is the problem for Leicester. They just can't get out of their half. Well, they've won a free kick here in their own half. So cross coming in here from Man City. Headed away. Happy Easter, Mark and family. Hope it's a lovely one, says Luke Antrobus. No, but I think Arsenal are an interesting one. They've, as a football club, I think it's a very interesting one. I mean, are Arsenal a threat? Well, I can only be honest, and I'm not bantering Arsenal here, and it's the old sympathy vote again, really. But Arsenal really are Arsenal a threat? I feel that Arsenal are Arsenal a threat to anybody in the next few years. I think Arsenal are a little bit like going to bed at night and realising that you've left your front door wide open and you've got a plasma TV screen, all the high tech, and 50 grand in cash on your windowsill that people can see and walk in and take, and you still just roll over and go, I'll be fine. I think that's how much of a threat Arsenal are, because I don't see... I've got no fear that they're ever going to be a problem in any time soon in the top four. So that's how I would describe Arsenal as a threat at the moment. That I'd happily go to sleep with my door wide open and fourth place cup in the doorway, and I still wouldn't expect them to nick it, because I think they're a very long way off. I really do. And Arteta's got a difficult job, because you talk about Man City's squad and you talk about Man City's bench, and if Pep Guardiola and Arteta are on MasterChef, right? And Greg Wallace says, make me a fruit salad using your own ingredients. And Pep starts talking in Spanish and starts showing off and says, what do you want in it, Greg? I've got fresh kiwi, strawberries, mango, peach, pear, banana, fresh as the day it was born. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, Greg says, I don't know, Pep. Just, you're flirting with me. Just do what you want. You're a genius. What are you going to do, Mikel Arteta? Well, I've got a mouldy old... Well, I've got this black thing, which is a banana because it's so off. The orange is hard and it's starting to turn green. And I've got no money to go down to the market and get some fruit, even from Tesco. And Greg's like, just get out. And I think that's what Arteta's working with, really. He's working with a mouldy squad that's getting older, and he's got no money to buy any fresh fruit. So I'm probably going to say the ultimate thing to Arsenal fans here. I feel sorry for you. I do feel sorry for you, because it's not banter. I just think it's very difficult for Arsenal to get back. And look, I know a lot of Arsenal fans, and they would agree privately, some of them publicly, that the way the club is, and it's not dissimilar to United, it's just worse. Like, whereas United can't win a title but can get top four, Arsenal can't win a title but can't get top seven. I think if you gave Arteta 350 million over the next 2 years, they'd get top four. But can he get that amount of money? Very difficult. 1 down, 2 to go with Chelsea. Here he is, the Arsenal fan, Zane. Arsenal are only a threat in a one-off game, says Jack Brown. Yeah, on Arsenal are on their day, FC. On their day, they can get something. Tonight, they could get something. But long-term, consistently, very difficult. And I think that, Iheanacho, he's in a 2v1. Play it now to Tielemans. Oh, good block by, was it Ruben Diaz? It was Ruben Diaz. What a block. Best centre-back in the league. Good run by Iheanacho from his half. Plays Tielemans in. I mean, to be fair, I don't rate Iheanacho, and I thought he was going to bottle this, but he did quite well. But to be fair, it's not a great block by Ruben Diaz. But they've got a corner. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, and remember, we are doing Liverpool versus Everton tonight. Matthew says, "Man just hates Arsenal." I don't hate Arsenal. I don't. I mean, look, if you think I hate Arsenal, I don't. People talk about Arsenal a lot, unfortunately, like they do. People talk about Man City a lot. It's not an obsession. Man City are top of the league with a chance of winning the quadruple. If you're a football fan, you're going to talk about it. Arsenal are one of the biggest clubs in Premier League history, and they are finishing 8th for the last 2 years. Like, that's a talking point. Why is it happening? We spent the first 10 minutes of the game, of the watch-along, talking about what's going on in La Liga. Like, to football fans, these are big topics. Where's Haaland going to go? They're big topics. Arsenal are a big topic. And I think one of the things is you can win the FA Cup. And look, Arsenal have won the FA Cup 4 times in the last 10 years. That's not to be sniffed at. But if you're finishing 8th after 38 games and you are 9th after 29 games, that tells you something very definitive. You are not in the top 7 clubs in the country. And that's Arsenal. You are not in the top 7 clubs in the country for the last 2 seasons. That ain't good enough, is it? That is not good enough for a club of Arsenal's stature. So you can say I hate Arsenal, you can say I'm obsessed. I'm telling you what you should know and you do know, is that for whatever reason, your club is not where it should be. Now, I do think Arteta's the right man at the right time. But if he doesn't get the money, he won't be able to do it because you haven't got enough young players coming through and he won't get enough time for that anyway. Mark, we are going to buy Odegaard, who has already done more than Pogba in his last 4 years. Yeah, whatever, Zane. Whatever. Why did England underrate Scholes when he was quite clearly the best midfielder of his generation? Didn't they stick him on the wings? Like what? Says Yazza. Well, they missed... This is it. This is they misused Gerrard, they misused Lampard, they misused Scholes. What they should have done is put Carrick at CDM with Gerrard or Lampard ahead of him and Scholes and the other one on the bench. That's what should have happened. You can't play Scholes and Gerrard. You can't play Lampard and Gerrard. The reason they get compared so much is because they all play the same bloody position. You could play a 4-3-3. He could have been adventurous and done that. I don't know why I never thought about doing that. You know, one holding midfielder and two box-to-box players, but he didn't do it. He always tried to play Gerrard and Lampard in the same team. Juve are losing 2-0, says Krish. So that's Dortmund, PSG and Juventus having a mare. Leon, I do think Chelsea will get top 4, but I think it's going to be very interesting. I mean, there's a lot going on for Chelsea, isn't it? They've got the semi-final in a couple of weeks when everyone else is going to be playing Premier League games. Is Man City in the box? Still 35 minutes to go in this game, but Man City... April Fool's results, says Daniel. The changes to the Champions League format, basically the top teams keep more money. We have to invest to keep or lose out even more. Surely we make a move now, says SK. I haven't seen these new... Thanks for the super chats, by the way. I haven't seen the what the changes to the Champions League are, so I can't really comment on them, really. I'm an Arsenal fan and you're right, unfortunately. We're not consistent enough and still have a lot of deadwood in the club. It would be a miracle if we get top 4. It's just too being inconsistent is dramatic, 12. Coutinho, Koulibaly, Odegaard next season. What an attack we will have. Koulibaly's a centre-back, mate. Coutinho is inconsistent. I mean, where is Coutinho? I don't hear anything about him. Does he play for Barcelona? I would say right now, in relation to the previous comment, thanks, Zach. I'm doing WrestleMania watch along next Sunday night. Looking forward to that. I would say that I would say even now, with 9 games left of this season, I would say even now, if Arsenal getting top 4 next season is a miracle. Even though I don't know what they're going to do in the summer, I still think to get top 4 would be an amazing job from Arteta. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think it would be an amazing job for you to do it. But what I would say as a positive for Arsenal is, I think you could win the Europa League. And if you win the Europa League, you're in the Champions League. So why can't you win the Europa League? To me, there's only 2 teams that can stop you. Arsenal, United and Ajax. And as we've seen with Arteta against United, he's done very well. So I think Arsenal could win the Europa League, which would be a very successful season for you. Got no chance of getting top 4, so win that. Injured for 4 weeks, says unknown sect about Coutinho. Jose Mourinho, dum 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 da dum. Dum 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 da dum. Yeah, Daniel Marcy says rest in peace, Claude. Is my hair natural? Yeah. What do you think is unnatural about it? I mean, if I was going to wear a wig, I'd wear a better one than that. I need a haircut. Can't wait 2 weeks. I'm just gelling it so much at the moment to make it look a little bit shorter than it is. Cross comes in from City. This should be a goal. No, Mendy. Mendy. Bottom corner. Took it well. He took it well. I said he's not one of the best left backs in the country, but he's took his goal well. It's definitely a goal for Man City. Cuts in and from the left. Well, he doesn't cut in. He gets it in the box. Goes to shoot. Puts the defender on his arse. And then just curls it into the bottom corner with his right foot. Pep's loving it. He's like this. He's got a beard fetish, Pep. Can't have a hair fetish. He ain't got any. 1-0 to Manchester City. Let's watch this back. It's been coming. It has been coming. Mahrez shoots. Palmed out. They're stacked up on the back post here. Yeah, it's a nice finish by Mendy. He's done well there. 1-0 to Man City. Which, in a weird way, as a Man United fan, or a Liverpool fan, or a Chelsea fan, or a West Ham fan, or a Spurs fan, not an Arsenal fan, it doesn't concern you. It's not a bad thing if Leicester don't win. It's a weird thing. But 1-0 it is, and they lead with that. And to be fair, this is the sort of standard Man City thing. Don't concede at one end and just get 1 or 2 goals at the other. Very, very effective. Now, have Leicester got a response to that? We will see. We will see, everybody. I don't know what it is that makes me feel alive. I don't know what to wake the things that sleep inside. I only want the things right behind your eyes. I wish I knew the lyrics, but I forgot them. Do you believe? Right, Tielemans has been so bad today, says BP. I think he hasn't. He hasn't played that well, actually, has he? Asni said, if you had to support a La Liga team, who would you support? I wouldn't support Madrid or Barcelona. I'd probably support someone like Valencia or Atletico Bilbao, someone like that. Opinion on FFP being scrapped, says Govand. It was never done properly anyway. Hi Mark, are you doing a Grand National watch along next Saturday? Yes I am, Sean Brennan. Yes I am. Football Talks has got a trial with MK Dons tomorrow. Good luck. Good luck with that. Don't bottle it. And what I mean by that is, in a nice way, be confident, because afterwards, if you don't play well, you'll wish you could do it again. So just go into it like, take the opportunity. That's what I'm saying. Don't be nervous. Don't play within yourself. Just express yourself. Do the best you can. And that's all you can do. But don't come out of it with feelings that you could have done something better. You've got to put everything into it and be confident in yourself, because I'll tell you now, footballers that aren't confident don't make it. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to put yourself there. You've got to go for the 50-50s. You've got to battle for it, and you've got to express yourself. Nice people don't get there. You can be nice later. Express yourself. You've got to hold and give and do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line. Now catch me if you can, 'cause I'm an England man, and what you're looking at is the master plan. Sing that when you're on the pitch. If all the Championship teams were in the Premier League and all the Premier League teams were in the Championship, which current Championship team would you support? Says Paul Not Nice. TKF says, remember me, Mark. And what positions do you think Arsenal should improve? I don't watch them enough, mate. But I think you need you do need a really good number 10. You need somebody to go next to Partey, and you need Partey to stay fit. You need a really, really good winger, and then put Saka on the other side. You need a really good centre back and a good right back, and I think you'd be all right. Grand Theft Auto is your best comedic content ever, says DBX. Thanks, pal. Tonight, Twitch, links in the video description. Looking forward to that. Arian says that his NBA team lost by 53 points last night. That is bad. Is there a way back into this for Leicester? Would you rather have Sean Dyche as manager or Steve Bruce manager? I don't know. Thanks, PTG. I don't know how we can get in contact to do that, though. You're singing for England. England. We're singing the song. I don't watch IPL. Stop asking me, Akash. I don't watch it. Can West Brom survive? I hope not. Is Leicester on the attack? Left-hand side. Is that a goal kick or is that a cross? That was actually a cross. He is. I tell you what. He scored a couple of goals and people were like, Iheanacho's not that bad. I think he's not good. I don't think he's good. Call me harsh, but I don't. Please subscribe, by the way. We're trying to get up to 348,000 subscribers tonight, on the road to 350. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. We're 200 away from 348, and we are doing Liverpool versus Arsenal. Iheanacho is tragic, says Nate. Has anyone got any good topics we can talk about whilst we're watching the game? Doesn't have to be football related. It can be things like, what's the worst... what's the closest you've ever come to death? No, that's too morbid. What's the best car journey you've ever been on? What's the best shower you've ever had? What's the best pudding you've ever had with ice cream? These are the sort of things we need. What is the best team outside of the top 5? Nah, not doing that. What's the best and worst meal deal you've ever had? Cereal first or milk first? Yeah, cereal. Cereal, definitely first. Who puts the milk in before the cereal? That's just weird. That's weird. Yeah, you've got to go cereal first. Jammy penalty for Leicester coming into Sports HQ. I quite like a draw, but it's not a terrible thing if Leicester lose, is it? Milk first, says Andish. But how would you put the milk in first? Because your cereal would... Depends how much milk you put in, really. Love's got the world in motion. What's that logo on my sweater? United Stand. United Stand ting. I've got it on my legs as well. I've got 3 of these logos on my body. 2 on my shirts and 1 on my arse as a tattoo. So that when United Stand hit 1 million subscribers to all the other United channels, I was just going to go to Old Trafford and go, kiss it. But obviously we're in lockdown, so couldn't do it. But there you go. I haven't really got United Stand tattooed on my arse. That would be... I just wouldn't do it. I've got no tattoos. Favourite Walking Dead character? I've stopped watching Walking Dead. I got bored of it. I think it's on its last season now, isn't it? I have watched Narcos Mexico. Do I like Guinness? I love it. I do like Guinness. Haven't had it for a while. More important for United, Busby or Fergie? Well, it's Sir Matt Busby, Harris, because we went through a tragedy and he rebuilt the club. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The club was in jeopardy after Munich, and he helped. He had a massive part in building it back up at the end, didn't he? Scariest moments. I've told these stories on Going for Goldbridge before, so I'll bore people who've seen them. But near-death experiences that people will probably find funny. That's a good topic in itself. Near-death experiences that people would find funny. That wouldn't be funny if you had died, but are quite funny now. One of the worst times I nearly died was on holiday when I was 18 in Magaluf. And, some people go on holiday when they're 18 and they nearly die because they do things like jump off the rocks to show off in front of some girls. Some people just drink too much and end up having their stomach pumped because of alcoholic poisoning. Some people do things with, no, can't say that. But my one was I went to a foam party and nearly died at a big nightclub. Which would have been ridiculous,
Daddy,
really.
It's Lily Easter.
Is it?
Yes, Mum had a sleep at Easter.
And what's going to happen?
Don't worry. He will magic sweeties in the chocolate.
What's Easter all about?
It's Easter when he gives all the chocolate and magic some sweeties in the chocolate.
That's what Easter is about, chocolate and sweeties.
Yeah.
Yeah. The magic of Easter. Chocolate and sweets. Jesus is turning in his grave. Well, he's not, because he's not dead, is he? He's looking down, shouting. Get rid of the Easter bunny and make it back about church and stuff. "20 minutes to go. Still only 1-0. There is a chance that Leicester might get something out of this. But yes, the story I was telling, I was in a nightclub in Magaluf and I nearly died in a foam party. And it wasn't because of fighting. Wasn't anything like that. I was in the foam party and I was dancing around with some girls and my mate. And the foam started coming in and I was like, this is getting a bit... I think I'm a bit allergic to it. I'm starting to feel a bit tight round the throat. And it was like, oh, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. And the foam got really high. You know, some foam parties are crap and they're like down to your like waist. The foam was like getting up really high. I was like, I feel a bit funny. I've got to get out of here. I can't breathe. So I started walking off the foam party, but I didn't know where I was walking. There was just foam everywhere and I couldn't really breathe. And then I started breathing in, but then I was breathing in the bubbles. And I was literally like, couldn't get out of this foam, couldn't get out of it. And I was like, if I don't get out of it in the next few seconds, I'm going to pass out and no one's going to find me because no one's going to find me in here until the bloody tomorrow morning. And I literally was just about down to my last sort of, you know when you're holding your breath and you can't hold it anymore. And I just made it out. But I made it out on my hands and knees. But the funny thing was, I'd nearly died doing it. But when I got out on my hands and knees, there's all the normal people who are not in the foam party around the edge of the dance floor having a drink and pulling women. And I came crawling out like... And I did nearly die. It's a true story. I did nearly die in a foam party. And Andrew Mark Mitchell says that sounds terrifying. It is true. But I always just think, you don't want to be bantered on your death, do you? And I thought I could have been like in the local Nottingham Evening Post. Teenager dies on holiday by drowning in a foam party. And I thought, no matter who reads that headline, they're going to laugh. Because as tragic as it is, they're going to think, how do you die in a foam party? So... Madison's coming on. Mark, I saw a video of Mendy, the Chelsea keeper, eating soggy cornflakes with a knife and fork. What eating habits or food offends you? Says Mr. Manager. I'm not really bothered. I wouldn't sit and watch somebody eating anyway. that was in the 90s, so health and safety was probably not what it is now, to be fair. What's a foam party, says Sean. Well, they probably don't do them now because they're probably not right. But basically, you know what? You know when you do the washing up and with your pots and you pour the hot water in and you put some fairy liquid in and the foam starts coming up? That foam is what is used in a foam party. They basically pump it out, these machines, onto the dance floor, and the foam just goes everywhere. And I don't even know if they do it anymore. They probably don't do it anymore because it's just ridiculous. But these were very popular in the 90s. Yes. Grand Theft Auto's tonight, Nadeem, at 11 on Twitch. Links in the video description. Man Dude says, next time that happens, cover your mouth and then move it away so you have clear air. It's 2-0 Sterling. Oh no, it's not yet, but it is now. It is now. Sterling to Jesus. And it's 2-0 to Manchester City, and that should be game over. I mean, look, anybody who said this game will finish 2-0, you've probably gone with the absolute bang-on prediction for this game. Will Leicester score against Man City's dominant defence? No. How many goals will Man City get? Probably 2. And Jesus gets an Easter treat for once. It's Sterling, and he pays it across the goal, and Jesus is there to tap it in. And it's nice that he gets to score on Easter weekend, I think. Shout out to Jesus and the Man City striker. Mark, can you do a driving with Goldbridge on Grand Theft Auto, says Danny Riley. What, just driving around? I'll have to get on the freeway, otherwise I'll crash. Mark, is it odd that you're no one who's talking about Mbappe having 1 year left on his contract and could go for cheap, but everyone wants 150 million Haaland, says Landon? I think that's because the general consensus is that Mbappe is going to score. He's going to stay. Written in the stars, a million miles away. La, 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 la. That was brilliant when Sky Sports used to have that as the intro. "15 minutes to go, couple of hot cross buns, and then we're coming out for the second half, which is going to be Liverpool against Everton. Arsenal. Oh, why do I keep saying Liverpool against Everton? It's Arsenal against Liverpool for a start. Get it the right way round. Oh, seasons. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing a bit of Grand Theft Auto. I will do it. I just was a bit concerned about how tired I might be, but I'm doing all right at the moment. You've got me through the more boring game. I think Liverpool against Arsenal. I nearly did this again. If I say Liverpool versus Everton again, I'm going to bang this desk. Mark, would you rather French kiss Ed Woodward for 5 seconds or have United not win the Premier League for 50 years? You can't say either. How many years? No. I like hypotheticals, Alexander. They are good. I will French kiss Edward for 5 seconds or have United not win the Premier League for 50 years. What if I French kiss Edward for 5 seconds and then he says, you're still not winning it for 50 years? So, I've got to be getting something back. 3-0, Mahrez. Oh, he's missed it. He's bloody missed it. He should have scored there on his left foot. Do you believe in the rumours regarding Nuno Mendes to United? Record in Portugal are reporting it. You'll notice Jacob is red. On my 4 o'clock United stand show, I never mentioned it. So if I don't mention a story in the press, it means it's total shite. I mean, I do talk about stuff that's never going to happen, but I think might be worth talking about. I don't even think that's worth talking about. People are saying Mark's sus. Look, French kissing your CEO of your club sounds totally horrible to me, but depends how much you love your club. Mehul says, why do Britishers care more about their club than England? I've never heard of that term before. Britishers. Why do Britishers care more about their club than England? Yeah, Britishers. I suppose I'm a Britisher. Why do I care about Manchester United more than England? Because international football's shit. Because the FA run it. You know, I think some people do like international football. Other, fans, Brazil, they love their national team. I think, to be honest with you, the reason Britishers support their clubs more than their country is because the FA are shit, to be honest. They've sucked the joy out of supporting England by appointing boring negative manager after boring negative manager. I mean, this has been going on for 20 years now. It's 20 years since Sven was manager of England, and it's been shit ever since. Sven, Capello, the Wally with the brolly was in between, Hodgson, Southgate. I mean, they even gave the job to Sam Allardyce. Bloody Sam Allardyce managing England. If you'd have told me that in 2002, that Sam Allardyce would end up managing England, I would have said, I'm getting a new passport. I'm not being English anymore. Mark, been in a very bad place recently. Your content last 2 or 1 year has gotten me through it. Love you, lad, on the bevies, says Apache24. I'm glad you're doing well, mate. Good to hear. I see double up ahead. I don't know why that was on so loud. So we've got 10 minutes to go here. Mark's hooker, you cheeky gets. I'm not playing. It's not Grand Theft Auto. This is real life. It was very loud, wasn't it, as well? Ten minutes to go. Mark getting a message from one of his I'm not reading that. And what's your favourite wine, Mark? Says Goldbridge Fangirl Society. Red wine. A lot of people asking me what you do for Easter weekend. A lot of people saying, what do you have for dinner? I mean, I've already had my dinner. I've had beans and chicken and coleslaw and chips. And my Easter weekend is going to be built around football. Obviously, I'm doing Liverpool, Arsenal after this. I got it right. And Man United, Brighton tomorrow night. But, I do think back. Well, I tell you what's Sean Dyche having for tea? What are you having? Why am I talking in the third person? Right, what am I having for tea tonight? Right, well, I'm going to have a lovely Indian takeaway, and I'm going to have it in the garden. I've got the TV, I've got an extension, I've got it out the conservatory window, and Woody's coming round with Tarkovsky. We're going to have a few pints of Guinness, and we're going to get on the old Harry Potter box set because Woody's never watched it before. He only likes Toy Story. So a nice Indian, few poppadoms, and a few bargies, a few pints of I say pints. The pub's not open yet, and a bit of Harry Potter with Woody and Tarkovsky. I think that English national team are one of the most overrated teams out there, and the World Cup run made it worse, says Anything with Tom. Yeah, I think you're probably right. What's your advice when the relationship is in a hopefully temporary bad state? I could really use some. That's the first mistake. Ask me for relationship advice. I mean, what was the lad who did it on FIFA? I've not heard from him since. I'm genuinely worried. What's your advice when the relationship is in a hopefully temporary bad state? I could really use some. Well, it's a little bit like a fridge. You know, if you've got a fridge and, you know, you make yourself a cup of tea and you're like, that milk smells a little bit off, but it's not out of date for a few days. And you think, well, I've not left it out. It's been in the fridge. What's the problem? Is the fridge starting to break down? Now, do you get an engineer out, or do you think, you know what? It is going to be hot this week, and if I lose the fridge, I'm in real trouble. You know, all my yogurt, all my bloody cheese and everything's going to go in the bin. Maybe there's an explanation. Let's just see how it is. And I think, you know, if it's a temporary problem, maybe just, you know, like that fridge, just ignore it and see if it goes away. If it doesn't, it's going to grow into a big problem for you. But, you know, bury your head in the sand and see what happens. I am doing an Arsenal watch along. Yes, Mr. Beast. Yes, I am. Please subscribe. By the way, bottom right hand corner, we are doing Liverpool against Arsenal. I need to actually set it up. 8 o'clock kickoff, isn't it? 200 subscribers away from 348,000. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Mike Bassett was a better manager than Southgate, says Ashley Crane. And a native of Britain was called a Britisher in India, says Mehul. You learn something every day. I've never heard of it before. So thanks for the history lesson, or the topical lesson, because you used it today. It's not a history lesson because you're still using it. Leicester having a bit of a go here. And that should be a goal for Maddison. Straight at the keeper. He should have scored there. He won't get in the Euro team missing chances like that. But this is, I tell you what, this is a good result for Manchester United. I've got to say, it's a good result for Manchester United. It's a good result for Liverpool. It's a good result for Arsenal. Not Arsenal. They're not in a top 4 race. It's a good result for a lot of teams who are trying to get in the top 4. Spurs, they're another one. The top 4 race is on. Good result for Chelsea as well, even though the West Brom result wasn't good. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't want Chelsea to win. That's not what I'm ever going to want to happen. But I don't want West Brom to stay up. I really don't. I know this is going to be really controversial, but I just can't stand Pulis and Allardyce football. I can't think of anything worse other than the headlines. Oh, Big Sam's done it again. They'll be wheeling him out in 100 years. You know, poor old guy. Let him rest in peace. They'll be doing some sort of cryogenic thing. You know, wheeling him out. They'll probably preserve his brain and put it in a robot. And when a team in 100 years is going to get relegated, they roll out Big Sam the robot to tell him to just boot the ball long and win the second ball. I think football needs to move on. I'm fed up of Pulis and Allardyce football, to be honest with you. More yellow card here for a Leicester player. Oh, God. De Bruyne. trying to get somebody sent off for a head shot. If you prefer, fair play to Arsenal. They've put a piece together about Claude in their upcoming match programmes as fresh cut grass. That's nice. And Mark, if City win the quadruple, should De Bruyne win the Ballon d'Or, says Avash. There's probably a good chance of it. If you prefer your girlfriend's twin sister and she's been giving you signals, should you just jump ship and go to the other one? Would be awkward, but fine, says Lloyd Delafontaine. That's going to end in tears. Your tears. You'll end up with nothing. It's not 2 for 1, you know. It's not buy one, get one free. It's try one, get nothing. Trust me, don't do that. You'll regret it. De Bruyne has come off. A couple of minutes to go here. But yeah, Man City, standard Man City tonight. Let's be honest, it's standard Manchester City to just do this. They will keep a clean sheet. They will score a couple of goals. They will dominate the ball. And you cannot argue with the fact that they've deserved to win this game of football tonight. And this is why they're going to win the league. I mean, he's not even had to use his bench ahead of that Dortmund game. It's been easy, very easy. And you look at how easily Man City have dealt with Leicester and how Man United struggled just before the international break. I don't think there's any difference in the way Leicester played. Just Man City have dealt with them very, very easily. I'm just setting up the stream for Arsenal versus Liverpool. There we go. There's a free kick there for Leicester. Money's too tight to mention. Let's talk about money, money. Let's talk about money, money. Apparently, if you go to the Etihad, that's just playing constantly. Let's talk about money. I don't know why. I think their success might be built off it or something. I don't know. I'm just going to get a little snack, and then I'm going to start the Liverpool versus Everton streak. He's on it again. Liverpool against Everton. Why do I keep saying Liverpool against Everton? It's Arsenal against Liverpool. Come on. Stop it. Get it right. I'm a cold hard breakout, Mr. Berg, and I'll rip your heart in two, and I'll leave you. Liam Gallagher sings Guns N' Roses. I'm a cold... No, that's wrong. That's Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche and doing Liam Gallagher singing... I'm a cold heart breakout, Mr. Berg. That's not even Chris Wood. I don't know what that is. That's not even... That's not... I'm just not going to bother. I'm not going to bother. Let's get back to the match. It's been a cracker. It's not really. It's been a standard, but it's been a good result for, as I said, in the title's gone. Man City are winning the title. Boring. They've won it. They've won another title. It's over. The battle really is about the top 4 race, and this Leicester loss opens it up. It does. Every loser wins once the dream begins. In time you'll see, fate holds the key, and every loser knows. 3 minutes added on. Get myself a little snack and then be live at 7:30. That's the plan. I'm a cold heart breakout, Mr. Berg, and I'll rip my heart in two, and I'll leave you lying on the bed. I'll be out the door before you break. Nothing new today. And I think I've seen that movie too. 'Cause you could be mine. Right, I won't be doing the watch along. I've messed my throat up. Grand Theft Auto tonight, Abdullah. I've answered this about 1 million times. 11 o'clock tonight on Twitch. But I'm doing Arsenal against Liverpool. I nearly said Arsenal against Everton. I'm convinced Everton are playing tonight. They're not. They're not. It's Liverpool against Arsenal. Get the lockets out, says G Singh. Yeah, I am grinding it a bit today. It's quite a lot to do today. But, you know, I wanted to watch, Premier League's back. I wouldn't normally do back-to-back watch-alongs, but 2 good games to watch, so yeah. Right, full time. I've got a great new thing on YouTube now. When I end this stream, it'll push you to the new one anyway. So I'm going to end the stream now. I'm live in 10 minutes with Liverpool against Arsenal. See you on there for that one. And this should push you straight to that stream. So I will see you there in 10 minutes, or you can just go through the homepage. See you in a minute.